Built by the science guy. Built by the science guy. Built by the science guy.
Science rules.
Built by the science guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Built by the science guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Built by the science guy. Built by the science guy.
Inertia.
Built by the science guy. Built by the science guy.
You sound like you're making it sound like Kami that I didn't think that went through. No, there's a Jace. It's in the sideboard. There's also Chandra, which can dump the Emrakul. Is a Charm can also dump the Emrakul. Yeah, don't worry. Ooh, I've thought of some of the angles. Ooh. There we go. Well, kind of. Sort of. There we go. How's it going, guys? Let's play some of this wonderful, wonderful deck. We have not played an Endless Possibilities deck in a long time. I think the last time we were playing Possibility Storm, it might have been when Thopter Sword. Around the time Thopter Sword was unbanned, I think. I think that was around the time we were messing around with this concept. Yeah, I'm hoping it won't happen often. That we draw the Emrakul. It's gonna happen. We're happy to draw the Endless one because then we don't have to spend a turn transmuting to find the other piece. And I'll explain the combo for those of you that have never seen it before in a hot second. Let's just get us queued. Hopefully you guys are having a nice weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I know we're almost at the end of it. But if you want to spend the last little bit of it with us, that's awesome. This is easily a 6. And obviously with the new mulligan rule, I see no reason not to obviously mulligan that essentially 6. We're going to mulligan one more time. This we can keep. It's actually 2 lands. And the new mulligan rule really changes a lot about Magic in general. You know, there's a lot of people talking about how maybe this really is going to be we'll keep. It's got the combo. I mean, we could go seek the Endless one and find the Possibility Storm later, though. See, that's going to be a problem with this kind of style of deck, is it's going to be tempting. You know, obviously, we're keeping the lands and the Serum Visions, but do we keep the Remand? Do we keep the Cryptic? Do we keep, you know, the combo? Another reason to not is there's plenty of Thoughtseize, Inquisition, or Kozilek decks, so sometimes it's better to have this safe inside of the deck. But we will keep here. And believe it or not, I think I am going to put back the combo. That seems wrong. It just depends on what we're up against, whether or not I should keep the combo. Hang on, sorry, my computer's doing that thing again. I really don't know what to put back. Hey, what's up, Part Trap? There we go. Oh, no, it's still... Okay. I'm not sure what I want to put back here. Like, do we put back the combo? I guess. It's hard to do that, but, like, I think we need the more reactive spells. Just in the dark. If I knew what my opponent was on, it's a different story. I might just try to sneak the combo. But usually, the way this deck is designed is we're trying to interact quite a bit before we actually do our combo. What's nice is, unlike Breach... Okay, well, we just drew one anyway. I think I am just going to play this West. And I know you're thinking, but BrewSpy, you need that for the... Yes and no. Like, there's 3 other copies of West, and there's still the actual Endless one. So it's probably like Leonin Arbiter, and it'll make me sad that I didn't start off with my Scalding Tarn. Okay, thank goodness. A little awkward here that we have to take just to do this. Land drop, a little bit more manipulation. Let's just get to the meat, because Thalia taxing those cantrips are not as free as we go through the deck. Not a bad time to hit a Spire Bluff Canal when it's our third land drop, so that's good. You would have put back the Remand in the Cryptic. Well, now that we know what we're up against, like, obviously we kind of wish that that's what we put back. But in the dark, vegan, we had no idea. Oh yeah, Park Trap, awesome, man. Yeah, we had no idea. You know, we didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, this is game one, so I had no idea what my opponent was on. So it's kind of hard to know what to keep, to be perfectly honest. Could we sit on the Remand? Yes. Is that the correct play? Probably not. Although he has, for us, been consistently just playing out dudes. So I guess maybe we'll sit on the Remand. Unless it's just a Restoration Angel, then I'm very sad. I don't get to do anything. It's probably like a Blade Splicer or something sitting out in their hand, right? Isn't it weird that I knew exactly what he was going to play? Isn't that weird, guys? Isn't that weird? So we're at 11. Can't Cryptic, but we can certainly Serum Visions. Another Cryptic. One, two, three, four, five. Bottom. And the Leonin Arbiter is annoying, but the Thalia is actually more so the problem, right? Well, no, she's not. It's non-creature spells, so. Hey, what's up, Andrew? How's it going? Also, holding up Remand prevents them from using Field as a strip mine. Oh yeah, I mean, here he's just going to wreck us, right? I shouldn't have just cast those Serum Visions. Yeah, I mean, he's just going to take out all my lands here. That's my bad, guys. I'm not thinking tonight, I guess. Thank goodness we're not in the league. That's embarrassing. He's just going to take us back down to 1 here. Or maybe he's going to play the Blade Splicer. That's a possibility. I would just Field of Ruin Ghost Quarter the crap out of me if I was my opponent. Rest in peace. He wanted to play the dude instead. But like, still we're in that spot. I mean, like, it's kind of sad to not draw any of this part of the deck, any of the early red side of our deck, right? We wouldn't be sitting here even worried about the Arbiter, you know? Yeah, that's really too bad. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Andrew. But now we're very dead, and that's okay. This game looked over when we didn't have like removal for the Thalia, and you know, I'm just in awe of why he's not strip mining me. It's the whole reason to play Arbiter with the Fields and the Ghost Quarters. And now we are definitely dead. But we know how to board, and it'll be okay. So we get to bring in another Anger of the Gods and Chandra for starters. Other than that, we can bring in the Batter Skull and the Engineered Explosives, and that becomes another thing to Possibility Storm besides the Emrakul, which is kind of sweet. Counter Magic is weak, obviously, in this matchup. Although Spell Snare might stay just because it's pretty efficient. Our Counter Magic is relatively weak. They go wide, but their creatures, their threats are... It's not like it's Lingering Souls, so I don't think I want Architect of Thought. I don't think I necessarily want Jace either. Imprison can hit a creature, but they go wide, and it's not mana efficient enough. So I probably don't want any of that. Maybe we'll play the Mana Leak, perhaps. And run it back. And that's just a little frustrating, right? Because we've got a reason. I added quite a bit more creature removal than I'll normally play in these decks. So it's a little frustrating. This hand's awkward, right? It's not that it's like the spells are fine. It's just the mana's awkward. We could maybe get a better 6, which we did. We'll put back the Cryptic. And usually, since we're playing the playset of Talaria West, usually it's not an issue finding one in the late game. Yeah, we're having a good time, Andrew. We're playing, I'm messing around with a Possibility Storm deck. So we'll try to hold this other Talaria West, but again, with that many Wests, especially with the fact that we're a Cryptic Command deck, I really should not hesitate playing out some of these Wests early on, just because we may not get different land drops. So really, I don't want to, like in the past, we played Possibility Storm decks where I find myself really hesitant to play these out as land drops. We really shouldn't have that attitude, especially with the playset of Cryptic. It's not impossible for me to like tap all his creatures and return a Talaria West the turn before we're going to go off. So probably going to Spell Snare most whatever this is here. Pretty much any 2-drop he plays there, we probably Spell Snare. Alright, looking good. So what's kind of neat here is we get to mission briefing the Spell Snare. Now, one of the weaknesses of the Possibility Storm in the deck in the past is you couldn't really play Snapcaster Mage because it interrupts the combo. Possibility Storm, of course, goes and casts Emrakul for us when we cast the Endless one. If you're playing things like Vendilion Click, if you're playing Snapcaster Mage, it'll interrupt the combo. So now we have a Snapcaster effect for the deck to kind of give us some of that redundancy with some of our powerful spells, like our burn, our cantrips, our counter spells, you know, being able to reuse cryptics. So it's kind of exciting. Like, yeah, so here you get to see me mission briefing the Spell Snare. We'll take a little damage to do it, but this is kind of neat. Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of neat that we get a Snapcaster effect into the deck. I don't want to give up an Anger, do I? Well, we can't cast this other Anger unless we take this other Scalding Tarn. They're really good in the matchup. Pretty much their entire board gets swept up in an Anger. We'll give ourselves the option to maybe not. Like, maybe I will just fetch away that Anger. It just depends on what our opponent's doing. So by taking the Scalding Tarn first, obviously we want to make our land drop, but we're giving ourselves the option, do we want a second Anger the Gods, or do we just want to shuffle that away? And now we're much more prepared for the matchup, like post-board, having some of these other tools. Arbiter. Okay. So that is me shuffling away the Anger, but I don't think we're gonna need it. And again, I didn't have to do that. We could have taken the Anger. Spray is just a nod to things like, or decks like Phoenix is why I'm playing the Magma Spray. Plus, I wanted a little bit more removal just with how creature heavy the format is. So probably be Splicer. We'll let it go. Opponent's got 3 cards left. Yeah, it does affect the opponent. I mean, we're at 16. I probably don't commit anything. There you go. There's a cryptic. So again, if we wanted to return the one of the Wests, we could. Obviously, we don't have the possibility storm yet, so there's no reason to do so. Golem token's kind of freaking out. You notice that? It's like blinking. It's weird. But I'm kind of fine the way this is going. Oh, weird. We could mission briefing the mission briefing to look at 4 cards. That's kind of cool. Well, surveil 4 cards. That is kind of neat. Another blade splicer. Okay. That is a lot of cards to look at. I'm kind of curious to do that, just to see what that's like. Because we are looking for what? We're looking for not this. It's kind of cool to kind of look pretty deep there. That's really not really what we're looking for either. And obviously I'm out of mana here, so I can't chain those, but you could theoretically chain those together. Another cryptic. See, I don't really want to open us up to him having Arbiter quarter field. But I also don't want to just sit back on the cryptics. Like, sometimes it's important to just anger away boards. But let's try to ride these cryptics a little bit. Obviously, he should just attack here. But I may get us in trouble here by this play. If you would more mana, you could get more value. Yeah, that's the thing. If we'd waited, it's true, I could have gotten a little more value off of that play. Right. Could have also thrown in like a bolt. Is going to be Resto. So we don't quite have enough red mana to take care of the Resto Angel, unfortunately, for us. I hope they commit more threats to this anger. That would be nice. Oh, or they're just going to give me the red source I need. I do have a mountain. Okay. Now, opponent still has 5 cards in hand, so this game is unfortunately far from over. Kind of glad that he ghost quartered without having any sort of Leonin Arbiter effect. They also sometimes will play Mind Sensor. So, Tithe Taker, yep. So we'll opt first. Alright, so there's the Transmute. Just need the Possibility Storm. Now, if we have time, we'll probably just go grab the Endless one, because I'd rather not naturally draw it. We'd rather draw action. Couple of Tithe Takers. Okay. Tarn. So that's a pain. That is indeed a pain. Actually going to draw 2, discard 2. Dumping the Tarn and the Axe, I think. Actually, if I was going to transmute this turn, then this is a mistake. So I'm wasting the scry. I guess it didn't end up getting wasted just because we didn't like what we saw on the top anyway. But I should have sequenced that different. And again, I could go get the engineered explosives, right? But we're kind of hoping to just spike the combo. And again, we could go back to one of the earlier versions of the deck I had the full play set of possibilities. So that might be what I do. I mean, we're so many cantrips, I thought I could get away with 3, but maybe that's wrong. I play set of cryptic, 3 of these, lots of cantrips, but maybe not. And the mission briefings even are deck manipulation. But this doesn't kill us. Displacer. Okay. Oh yeah, we should have waited on the briefings. That was kind of greedy. We didn't get nearly enough value out of that, and I was just trying to see a bunch of cards. And okay. So if we did that, he still gets... Oh, no. Afterlife does not live through anger. Since we have Lightning Axe, there's one more Lightning Axe in the deck. Maybe I shouldn't play this island. I don't really want to just put an endless one into play. So I think we're still just chilling. Possibility Storm wins here. Displacer awkwardly stops Emrakul, by the way. So I think I will just go ahead and get rid of that. Opt. Bottom. Explosives. Okay, so we drew the explosives anyway. I don't know what to set it to. He's got quite a few 2-drops, but that might not be what we're facing, so let's go ahead and kick it back. I'm not sure what I want to set the explosives to. Big Thalia. All right. Cannot explosives that. I mean, we could just make a big endless one, and then we can like bounce it back. Unfortunately, this would enter tapped, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could play a 6/6. Guess we don't really have a choice now. Just due to the Thalia, and there's no guarantee I'm going to draw an answer in time. It's a little awkward, but... Oh, he is still playing his paths. Really? Oh, I guess he didn't see enough of what we were doing, so that's fair. Game 1, I guess he didn't see enough to know to take these out. So maybe he's sitting on some more paths over there. I have no idea. We may lose this one, chat. That's okay. Like, game 1 was miserable, right? We were sitting against a Thalia, and I drew the counter magic side of my deck in the dark, whereas we need the burn side to fight something like this. I haven't seen good old modern Death and Taxes in forever. You know, you would have thought that more people would try it after Field of Ruin came out, and that was just not the case. It's not something that not something that people were doing. Are there some little changes we want to make before we queue up again? For example, like the Pact is something there's a lot of games I won't want. I think the meta game is in such a place where I like the tutorable Tormod's Crypt, and I liked hedging instead of running the mainboard Moon. I liked running mainboard Anger. But maybe this shouldn't be in the main at all. We just want it as a tutor target post board for games that it's going to go long enough where it's nice to convert one of the Tolaria Wests into a counterspell. There's not enough, I think, game 1s where we want that, but maybe there's some game 2s where we do. And again, if we put the Batterskull into the main deck, what's kind of neat is games where we naturally draw the Tormod's Crypt, but we don't draw a West or the Endless one. I can just convert that into the Batterskull. I don't think that'll come up enough, though. But, I mean, the meta, again, where the meta's at, I don't mind just having a surprise Batterskull. Do I think Therapist will make it into Modern? Absolutely. What is the combo with Endless One? Possibility Storm. So Possibility Storm says whenever a player casts a spell from their hand, so let's say we cast Endless One, it's a creature, doesn't even need, we can cast this for 0, we don't need it to resolve, because Possibility Storm is going to suck it up and we'll exile that card, we'll exile cards from the top of the library until we find something of the same type. You'll notice nothing else in the deck is the same type as Emrakul and the Endless One. That's on purpose. There's no Snapcasters for a reason. There's no creatures in this deck for a reason. And again, the same thing could be said for like the Tormod's Crypt. If we cast the Tormod's Crypt, it'll get sucked up into the Possibility Storm and out pops a Batterskull. Does that make sense, Barwick? Insert name. I've brewed a few different Cabal Therapist decks already before the cards even come out for a reason, because I do think that that's sweet. So that was something else I thought about, just main decking the Batterskull. Could main deck Jace the Mind Sculptor as well, just as a way to put the Emrakul back in. I'm not sure. I think that honestly in the metagame, Batterskull is probably better positioned. I mean, if you look at the modern metagame, there's plenty of games where, I mean, it's kind of old school to have Batterskull in a Blood Moon-ish deck, Blue Moon-like deck, but you know, you look at the modern metagame, and there's plenty of games where Batterskull, yes, does nothing. I don't mind it here, but it's not great. Not great here, does nothing here. Yes. So, I mean, the Batterskull's pretty, it's like 40-50%. I'm happy with it. So maybe that's not enough. No, Possibility Storm. But again, this Batterskull could just be the 4th Possibility Storm, and then we still keep this in the back, and we cut weird cards like orbs. Yeah. I just liked hedging a little bit for burn, but I don't even know if that's worth it, because historically Blue Moon style decks are just bad against burn anyway. So that could give us the 4th, because that was kind of the thing. I mean, sure, you can make the argument that we're a 2-card combo that's a little bit lighter on its feet than we're a 2-card combo that's a little bit lighter on its feet than Through the Breach, but Through the Breach is instant, so there's definite advantages still to like a Through the Breach build, namely, you know, they can play Snapcaster Mage. But with the printing of Briefing, I'm kind of curious to see how that shakes up. We could grab another Possibility Storm and see how we like that. Card's probably super cheap, so I'm just going to grab it through. Oh, it looks like it's down for maintenance. Okay. Or down for the count. Alright, well, we'll just grab it then. It's like nothing. It is literal nothing. But it's such a specific card, I can understand why. Why not Ballista? The problem with Ballista is it cuts you off from your artifacts. So walking Ballista, that's a great question though, Truck and Duncan. The reason is we don't get to play things like Engineered Explosives or Tutorable Chalice. You could go even deeper. If you want to make your burn matchup better, you can run things like Dragon's Claw. Or if you just want something that's good in general against some of the aggressive decks, I would recommend something like Sun Droplet. So there are other things you can do. Against burn specifically, I thought the idea of transmuting, like Possibility Storming into, I mean, again, still this is stronger because you get the extra turn. You know, so much like how Through the Breach gives you, haste with the Emrakul, Possibility Storm, because of the way that it works, it actually will cast the Emrakul. You get that extra turn And then you get to finish them off with a couple of burn spells. So the bolts are still important because an Emrakul swing doesn't actually kill your opponent. It puts them to no permanence probably, or few if any permanence. And it does, ideally deal in the 15. You do still have to deal the last 5 or so points of damage. A lot of people's mana bases will deal that damage, some of that damage to them, and then it just takes a single bolt to finish them off. So much, again, like the Through the Breach Blue Moon style of deck, you do still have to get those last few points. Or actually, no, you don't. This isn't like Breach. You get to keep the Emrakul. Never mind. I'm sitting here worrying about actually finishing them off. And okay, so that's one of the advantages to not being Through the Breach is we get to keep the Emrakul. So that's kind of nice. Truth. So let's play one more game with this configuration. I'm not going to necessarily have a long stream tonight, just because I got work in the morning tomorrow and I got a project due Monday. So we were just going to squeeze in another. I know you guys are all here and everything. I very much appreciate you guys tuning in, guys. It means a lot to me. If you cast Possibility Storm, you have Possibility Storm. You're guaranteed another Possibility Storm. Yeah, or you can do something cool like you could, yeah. Let's try that again. And that was just the unfortunate situation where, like, I'm not going to sit here and say the deck's good, but I don't think the deck is that bad that we just, have that poor of a matchup against something like Death and Taxes. I don't think that's actually the case. I think what really happened there was game 1, we had the choice to either keep the combo or keep the interaction. I kept the interaction, and then we ended up being against an opponent that the interaction was weak. It's going to be Taxes. Only so much you can do there. I'm playing a few Planeswalkers in the sideboard to kind of help us against different types of matchups. Jace, of course, for grinds. Architect of Thought for go-wide strategies. Flamecaller for everything else. Decks that go, like, we'll want a sweeper, but we want some value out of the sweeper. So I thought the Chandra might be fun. But this is just like a first draft coming back to the archetype. Really should rename it. It's not 1.9. This is clearly a new leaf. But who's excited about a lot of the new sets coming out? I'm pretty excited for their modern implications. That's weird. That's what's going on. All right. I'm kind of excited about some of the new implications. I'll probably keep this. Wish it had even just one red card. Wish it had one burn spell, but I'll keep it. Like when we're on the draw, I don't like to keep hands like this, just because of how aggressive the meta is and can be right now. Swamp Thoughtseize could be a bunch of different things. Yeah, I think War of the Spark will certainly be a really cool unlimited or limited format. I thought the new Simic Tutor was kind of cool. I was thinking about things to do with it. It takes my mana leak. All right. We draw the Emrakul. It's not the end of the world. We have ways to dump it. We're playing 2 Lightning Axes, and is a Charm, at least, right? Now, if my opponent doesn't have creatures, then we can't really use the Lightning Axe. So, it is indeed a problem. So we're playing against Green-Black Rock, it looks like. Lighthouse, of course, is another way to dump the Emrakul. I probably should keep it because there's no guarantee I'm going to get a Lightning Axe. Briefing. We don't want to just cast the Briefing just to surveil 2, Just much like Snapcaster, you really do want to be casting it when you get to cast something else off of it. So I'm going to try to set us up to Briefing the Opt, I think. But I'm pretty excited about these. I think that these give this archetype some new life. Ooh, Abzan. I've seen quite a few. A buddy of mine has been playing Abzan just because of Kaya, actually. Liliana? Okay. So Liliana gives us the discard for the Emrakul. It does mean my missions briefings don't have a target anymore, though. But I still think that's maybe what I dump. Hang on. No, I don't think so. Hang on. What if I just dump a mission briefing? I don't think I'm supposed to dump the Emrakul yet. I think we want to be able to mission briefing the Opt. And it does take a lot of blue mana. That's kind of the weakness of mission briefing over Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, no, I've seen Abzan. I think Kaya is actually kind of a really sweet card after all. So there's the Lightning Axe for the Tarmogoyf. Well, this Surveil is not really going to matter anyway, right? Well, what we could do is we could put the Lightning Axe into the graveyard, and instead of opting, we can take care of the Tarmogoyf. Opponent's only on one card. Granted, the Liliana is going to ultimate soon, unless I can, like, Cryptic it, so this is kind of a mess. Why don't we... Oops, I just misclicked. I meant to take care of the Tarmogoyf, I think. Draw something different. Although then again, I could have just kept that Lightning Axe to deal with the Tarmogoyf. We'll shuffle. But the Bold, of course, can buy us time against the Lily. Goyf shrinks, which is kind of neat. Opponent gets that value by dumping a Lingering Souls. Yep. Now, there's always the chance that our opponent doesn't think about the Cryptic. I've seen that happen time and time again with these Jund or Abzan or, you know, insert Liliana deck, that they'll tend to play out their hand before they plus the Lily. Which seems to be what he is doing. So let's be patient. If he doesn't, we'll just bolt the Lily, or maybe we'll Cryptic bounce the Lily. I can bolt and then brief. We don't have second red source, so I can't bolt briefing bolt. But, okay, so he is playing around that. Good on you, opponent. So there's a Lightning Axe that could hit the Goyf. This is kind of precarious to navigate. Maybe I should just take out the Lily, but then we're dead to the board. I don't really want to do that. But yeah, mission briefing can fuel itself. No, opponent knows what he's doing, unfortunately for us. He is indeed playing around the possibility of us. I mean, now we're kind of priced into using the briefing for the Cryptic. Logic not most likely dead at this point due to the Lily. But now the Lily's going to sneak out of bolt range. But we're dead to the board if I don't, you know, briefing here. Tracker. So Tracker, I think, would be something that I might just want to counter and tap. Just due to that can kind of get out of hand. Tap the Cryptic. I don't think I want Tracker to resolve. Don't think we want that resolving. But yes, Lily of course is keeping us on a clock. But I like how he's been navigating his Liliana. He hasn't made a mistake with it yet. Oh, there we go. So, return and tap. So here he has to discard his Liliana. But we are still pretty toast here. The problem is, even if I find Possibility Storm, and this is definitely where our deck does not shine against some of these you know, grindy Thoughtseize styles of decks. So the problem with taking the mission briefing is the Goyf is a 5/6. So the Lightning Axe isn't enough, and I don't have enough mana to... well, Tormod's Crypt actually saves us against the Goyf for a turn, doesn't it? He loses... What have I got? I'm giving him instant and sorcery. Yeah, so the Tormod's Crypt does buy us time. Sort of. The problem is the Goyf is still going to be big because of we're going to have our artifact instant sorcery. But he's losing creature, planeswalker, land. What am I doing? I was supposed to take out the other Lingering Souls. That was foolish. I don't know why I was waiting for him to attack with the Goyf. Obviously, you're supposed to... I guess I forgot about the Lingering Souls in his yard. My bad, yeah. My bad, guys. I do think mission then anger. But then we're still toast to the Goyf. So this will put us to 1. Oh, he could have killed us there if he played his Verdant Catacombs. Cryptic. But yeah, without like the ability to discard to the Lighthouse, we're kind of just dead in the water. There's the Endless one. Maybe we're really, really lucky and we just spike the Possibility Storm here and win. That would be kind of hilarious. Nope. That would have been funny, though. Had to have been coming up. It was a little bit away. So this is definitely a matchup where we're not happy. Well, Lingering Souls. It's a tough call. So spot removal is not great in this matchup. This is definitely kind of the kind of matchup we really kind of want to avoid, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Her man is weak. Yeah, something like Abzan we want to avoid. So Jace, Chandra, explosives. Maybe even Jace? Prison hits planeswalkers like Lily, Blood Moon, Batterskull. I like the Batterskull if we're only going to run one of our tutable artifacts. Because then if we Possibility and we can't find the Endless, but we find explosives, we can make this happen. I just really don't like our counter magic in general in this matchup. So we'll kind of figure out what we're going to do there. Just leaving in both combos. Both Jaces, a Chandra. Okay, so Spray's no good here. Is a Charm's weak. I'm not too worried about having a way to put the Emrakul back into the deck, other than maybe Jace the Mind Sculptor. I like how Lightning Axes deal. I mean, even though these put us down a card, so that's the problem with Axe in this matchup. It's just the fact that it put you down a card to deal with Goyf. He might be on Confidant, I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of these Abzan decks, they'll play Siege Rhino actually. Let's play the Harvest Pyre. Let's play Mana Leak, Logic Knot, Spell Snare. 6 cards back in. Okay. Well, I like the flexibility of Charm. I mean, I knew some of these cards were going to come back in. Anger lets us deal with when he goes wide with Lingering Souls. So maybe that's the way we kind of want to fight him here. And then Axes let us hit Tarmogoyf. Alright, so taking out some of the smaller burn, bringing in sweepers and ways to deal with wide boards. Keep. And we don't have to get aggressive here. Like, we know this is going to be a grind, so we can kind of... I don't think he's going to take it Serum Visions. There's a possibilities. Let's Serum before we... Since one of these isn't a fetch land anyway. So there's Chandra, land drop. Probably not going to draw to that Chandra anyway. But this is hopefully our game to shine. I mean, again, these are the kind of decks that I really would rather not play against. You know what's cool is Kaya is a tutor target for that newish, I should say, tutor that I like to play. So he gets his choice of Anger or Imprisoned. And I think against Jund, it's important to have something else to cheat out with the possibility, or, you know, Jund-like decks, just because there's a possibility they take. We could cut them on black, actually, a little bit here. I think that's greedy. I think that is greedy in this matchup. But, I mean, like, it's something I would do against Tron. If they had, like, a Tron piece, I'd imprison it. Rather, he didn't know what I just drew there, but I think I want to get my fetches out of the way first. Oh yeah, Ike, that's cool. Sorry, my camera's in the way. Or my microphone. That's sweet, Ike. Yeah, like Gregory Hatch's Mono Blue Martyr. That's cool, man. What we got here? Kitchen Finksu. Okay. It's just my phone reminding me that I need to sleep. That's all. But I think this is my... I mean, I'm out of tickets and out of points if we don't win this, so... This is probably our last game anyway. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in to hang out for a little bit. Even if it's just a shorter stream. I'm trying to catch up on streams over the weekend just because I just can't during the week and just don't have the energy. If you guys don't have a desktop, you might not know what I mean when I say it's pretty... Not impossible, but it's pretty tough for me to it's pretty difficult for me to want to sit down in front of my... I'm not even playing, you know, like I used to play a little bit of video games with friends. I haven't even been doing that lately just because I have a desk job. Oh boy. Actually just gonna cryptic here. So possibility storming here doesn't quite do what I want. I'm gonna Batterskull. If he has the Assassin's Trophy for it, so be it. But he'll spend a turn dealing with the Batterskull instead of deploying more threats. Oh, Teague. Okay. So I actually might have to imprison the Teague. That's funny. Huh. That's fascinating. It's a bizarre land, isn't that? Isn't this flavorful? Look at this Teague. He has become one with the tree. It's fascinating, right? Legendary. He's still legendary. That's so weird. It's a legendary colorless land Teague. Tarmo Goifo. Bigger than my germ. I'm going to counter it. Maybe we just ride this Batterskull to victory. Right, I might just deploy Jace next turn. Oh, okay. Well, Possibility Storm and then Jace Architect of Thought gives me either Jace the Mind Sculptor or it gives me Chandra. It also converts this Lightning Axe into a counterspell or a Cryptic, potentially. Even though we have to dump this Possibility Storm. Problem is I can't reuse the Batterskull if I do that. But is that even what this game is about anymore? Or am I just supposed to Jace minus? It might just be correct to Jace minus. Then he just hits it with the Kitchen Finks, and then I'm tempted to play the Lightning Axe. Complicated. I think maybe my best line is even just end step, return the Batterskull. Do nothing. Yeah, no, I think Architect is fine. I mean, he's a Lingering Souls deck, so I don't hate having him in our hand. Yeah, it might just be pick up the Batterskull. We can take a few hits from the Kitchen Finks. And like the fact that this didn't get Assassin's trophied already tells me that it's likely going to stick around. Siege Rhino. Lingering Souls. Okay. Speaking of Lingering Souls. Cryptic Command. Another path. This guy just leaving his paths in. I guess he maybe didn't see enough about what we were doing. This is the second opponent to just leave in a bunch of paths. But again, maybe we didn't show... I still don't think I'd want that many paths against like a Blue Moon variant, though. Even still. But now we almost have enough mana to just pick up the Batterskull and recast it. Just want to make sure that... So the problem with Lightning Axing here is most of my hand is stuff that would grow the Goyf. I might even have to dump the Cryptic to make sure that the Goyf doesn't live through the Lightning Axe, because Enchantment would grow it, right? Yes. Planeswalker would grow it as well. So let's not make that misplay. Because I don't want to dump the Cryptic, I don't think, just to kill a Goyf. If anything, we have enough mana to Cryptic and return the Batterskull, actually. Like, we could Cryptic tap his team, return the Batterskull. I think that's the play. We just need to find the transmute, right? I mean, we're so close to just, oops, I win. There's a Chandra. Does Chandra blow up the world? Not quite. And of course, you know, Kitchen Finks. Tireless Tracker. But no fetch land. Mission Briefing Cryptic is a possibility. See if we get a land drop. So yeah, briefing cryptic. I mean, barring him like surgicaling me, I don't know. I don't quite know what his sideboard plan was. Oh, speaking of which, Grafdiggers. So the Grafdiggers actually does stop my possibility combo, does it not? I think it does, right? Creatures in libraries can't enter the battlefield. Does it get cast from the library? From the top of the library? It's kind of confusing, right? The creature's getting cast from the library. Well, regardless, we need to do this if we want to cryptic. So, and I should have fetched first because we're surveilling. Serum Vision sees a bunch. Graveyard. We don't have to crack this Scalding Tarn. Anybody know if Grafdigger's Cage stops Possibility Storm? I don't think that it does. You like counter tap? I don't think that this does. I don't think Grafdigger's Cage stops something like Possibility Storm. Cage stop Possibility Storm. Possibility Storm and Grafdigger's Cage. No, Possibility Storm exiles, then casts from exile. Yeah. We don't have to counter it. But I do want to tap his team. And we want the Serum Vision, so we're not going to crack the Scalding Tarn. Now, that does mean subsequent mission briefings won't work, but I think I'd rather just draw into the deck and find the combo. There it is. Guys, you just have to believe. And here's the thing. We had enough mana that if it wasn't the natural Endless one, we would still get there. We don't want to pass priority. Oops. Need to tap for more red. So the way this combo works, you don't pass priority, you just do the thing. Now he's at 16, but we get to keep the Emrakul. But yeah, don't pass priority because you want to make sure you get a Possibility Storm trigger before he could possibly like somehow remove the Possibility Storm. We do get the extra turn, which is the nut. And the Serum Visions should just turn into another Serum Visions. It might turn into an Anger of the Gods. Yeah, it's just Serum Visions that turn into another Serum Visions. Talari West. Okay. Bottom. Now, we can't resolve the Battle Skull, but we could turn this Jace into other Jace. I do need to bolt him. So we could Lightning Axe. We can Lightning Axe the Goyf, and it's going to give us the bolt, probably. Actually, hang on. Let's hold off on that, because we want it to either be... Our instants that are left, probably... This is complicated. What do I want to do? We want to end up with a Lightning Bolt, right? Alright, so let's play Architect of Thought. We know it's going to become Mind Sculptor. Okay, well, this is like useless. So yeah, unfortunately it looks like... I mean, we're going to decimate his board, but we couldn't quite deal that last point of damage. So obviously you sack the Kitchen Finks here. I think we still win? Oh, weird. Okay, so this is what he decides to keep. Okay. That's not nearly a problem. Oh, well, yeah, with the Kitchen Finks. Well, no, he's going to 18. He's still in bolt range. Still in bolt range. Just because a lot of what we could hit off of this Lightning Axe getting Possibility Stormed is counter magic, I think we're supposed to wait to use it during our opponent's turn. If it turns into a lightning bolt, we just aim it at them and it's over. But the fact that this could be a cryptic, it could be a mana leak, or no, it can't be a mana leak. I think we only have one. What could it be? It could be a bunch of different things. And then you have to think about how we've sideboarded. And there's many different things. Okay, so this Maelstrom Pulse is going to become a Lingering Souls. Okay. All right, I'm going to Lightning Axe the Tireless Tracker. Honestly, I could just pay the extra, couldn't I? I'm not casting anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has anybody ever paid the additional on... I guess I can't. I don't have another land. That's fine. I was going to say, I don't think anybody's ever actually done that. We already have enchantment in the yard, so let's dump the Blood Moon. Okay, so we ended up with a Lightning Axe. That's disappointing. Alright, but that does it anyway. Alright, so we had a Lightning Axe that turned into a Lightning Axe. Alright, so we saw Kitchen Finks. We kind of want the Magma Spray. This also hits Tireless Tracker if it's not grown. So I don't hate the Magma Spray. I know you're like, BrewSpy, you're crazy by not running Bolt, but it doesn't look like he's playing Confidant. It just looks like it's just like a really grindy Abzan. I think we want the Magma Spray. No, I kind of like how he boarded. It looks like he's fetching in such a way that the Blood Moon's not really going to work. Not that we should necessarily cut it, but it looks like he's ready, more or less, for the Blood Moon, so I think we'll just do away with it. You just talked about bolting him, but had no bolt. Well, we really just needed to buy time until we get to hit him again with the Cryptic. You're right, there are no bolts. That's true, we took them out. That's funny. Mulligan. Oh. We're on the draw, though. Alright. I think the Spell Snare is actually gonna miss the boat here since we may not have an untapped land. But maybe that's crazy. Because he could go 2-drop into another 2-drop. Very possibly. Very possibly. Kind of hope we get to keep this opt. I mean, he didn't Thoughtseize us there, so. Does nothing. Land? Land? Can we do it? Alright. Skin of our teeth, chat. We do have to win this to keep going. Otherwise, I am definitely going to cut it. Well, it is 10 already, so even if we win this match, I'll probably cut it early. I mean, not early. I was aiming to. Well, there you go. Ripperonis. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the double cryptic though. Hard to say. I don't know what I dump next to the Lily. We're in a lot of trouble. I'm gonna actually negate this. I think if we're not hitting another land anyway, we're gonna lose. So, ooh, settle the wreckage. So I'm gonna hope for that outcome. Kitchen Finks, yep. It happens. I mean, and I can't really even do anything ever. Like, I can briefing, leaving up red, hoping to find, like, I don't know, exactly Magma Spray. We're just, I guess, maybe even briefing just to hope to hit land. Now, granted, if this was Snapcaster, the mountain doesn't matter, and we can still opt. But, again, creatures interrupt the combo. Yep. Chandra. Alright, graveyard, graveyard. Nah, we've lost this, and that's okay. I would assume we're not all that great against some of these fair decks. Splosis is only so good in this matchup for us anyway, just because we don't have a third color. So maybe he makes a mistake with the Lily. He knows about the Cryptic. He's not going to make a mistake. He played around Cryptic properly last time. I can't imagine he misplays this. Just because he has the clue out there. Yeah. So he didn't misplay it last time. Maybe I'm supposed to let go of the Jace? That seems wrong. Just because that other red source might be relevant for like an anger draw. I'm going to take 7. He doesn't get to redeploy the Lily. Actually, he kept something else. Okay, he's flashing back souls. Jace buys me... So I can either minus the Jace and be dead. Now we're going to plus the Jace. What's neat about Jace is it's an effect. So it doesn't actually go anywhere. That effect, it's passive, regardless of whether or not the Jace still exists next turn. Speaking of which, you guys get to see that in effect. So we're still going to get a Jace emblem effect. So we're going to take 3, 4, 5. So I'm still in need of finding runner, cryptic, or sweeper, or this or that. Briefing doesn't do enough. We're just dead. But we finally found our thing, right? I mean, it's too late. Good games. Good games. Good games, sir. Good games. All right, so that is the end of the show. That is also the end of tickets and points I had, right? Yeah. It's a lot to restock before next stream, but that's how that cookie crumbles. I still think this is a cool archetype. I think that it does get some new dimensions with some of the new cards that have come out lately. Like, for example, the last time we played the deck, there wasn't anything like Chandra Flamecaller. Jace the Mind Sculptor wasn't unbanned. Mission Briefing hadn't been printed yet. So there are some like little cool things that, and again, like, I still don't understand how we did so poorly against the Taxes player. Like, I'm playing quite a bit of removal. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbled. I've got quite a bit. Whole 6th of the deck. It's just straight up removal. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the next BrewSpy show. I'm going to host over to one of our other teammates. I think Evan was live tonight. You guys like Evan, right? Yes? But thanks for coming, guys. I really like this archetype. I think it's a cool deck. I think there's some pros and cons to playing this versus like an Emrakul Breach or Breach Emrakul kind of a deck. Oh, Cedric's live. That's cool. But since one of my teammates is live, I'm definitely going to host my teammate. I'm just going to make sure Fluffy's not on. Because I rarely get the chance to host Fluffy Wolf. I don't think he's live. Nah. So we're going to host over to Evan. Looks like Evan is playing... I think he was playing Phoenix. He is playing... Yeah, he's playing Modern Heads at Phoenix. Go ahead and say hi to him for me. I'll see you guys on the next BrewSpytheMagicGuy. I'm signing out. I'll see you. I'll see you. Later. See you guys.